live, and then I'll let you know when you could start.
Right.
You could start.
So good evening, everyone. Tonight is the February 28th Architectural and Historical Review board meeting, and we have 4 or 5 items on the agenda tonight, and we start with the first one, which is 480 Broadway. Anybody on Broadway?
People are just getting on now. Is there anyone here for 480 Broadway?
Anybody? We can move to the next one.
I just promoted them to a panelist, but they didn't come on. Sorry about that.
Oh.
It's like it froze. It won't let me promote them to a panelist.
I'm gonna check the next one.
Hello.
Arthur, can you hear us?
I can hear you, Arthur.
Yes. Are you from 480 Broadway?
I am from 480 Broadway. Do you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Hi, Ayer.
Hi, Arthur. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Now, am I to share my screen, or do you have the?
Yes, please. If you can share your screen and make a brief presentation on what's happening and.
Okay. Let me just delete this join as panelist thing. I'm sorry about this because
you have to join as a panelist in order to share your screen. I'm trying to put you on. You have to accept it.
Okay, could you mind doing that again, please? This
Yeah,
is a
absolutely.
new interface.
Okay.
Okay, so join as panelist.
Okay, perfect. Now, once you unmute yourself, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay, I am unmuted and I am sharing.
Right.
Okay. All right. This is a very straightforward application. We have a situation with this house that we've been undergoing a very intensive restoration.
Sorry, Arthur. If you move the side panel so you see the full image, yeah, you can. That's it. So we can see a larger image of what you're showing us.
Okay, let me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so the application is straightforward. We have a situation where we have a chimney on this existing house that we've been meticulously restoring that has been leaking terribly. This has been going on since about October. We filed an emergency application with the building department, and they have then referred us to AHRB. So we're looking for your approval to allow us to remove this chimney. My client has spent quite a lot of money on the restoration and other unexpected problems that the building has presented. to us and is really not in a position to restore the chimney. I don't know why my images are not loading properly. Here we go. So in this image, you can see can you guys see the hand that's waving?
Yes.
Okay, that's the in red. That's the existing chimney that we are going to have to remove. And then probably I think best is just to skip to the last image, which shows you a Photoshop of the building, the house with and without the chimney. So I'm going to be very brave and try to advance this. Ay, ay, ay. I am hating Zoom today. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm using actually the images that were directly submitted to the AHRB, so I'm not sure why they're taking so long to load. Yeah, sorry, everybody.
No rush.
Your next applicant wouldn't be saying that. Okay, it's like I'm drawing it in front of you.
Etch a sketch. If you'd like, I have the images open on another screen. I could share
Yeah,
my
maybe.
screen.
Yeah, why don't you share your screen, because this is painful. And I think the most instructive image really is that last one where you plainly see the.
See my screen?
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go. There it is. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So there you see on the right side of the image, the chimney is removed. On the left side, the chimney as it exists. So we obviously don't want to do this. In an ideal world, we would keep that chimney, but it doesn't serve any purpose. The flues that are in there are no longer active. There's no fireplace underneath, so it serves no purpose. And it's destroying the interior.
Right. I think I had I reviewed the application. It's very clear. Let's hear the board members. Anyone has a question or something to discuss? Why don't we start commenting?
The chimney on the left is going to remain,
Yes,
and that's an active chimney.
it is.
It probably costs a lot of money to remove this chimney, right?
Not as much as it costs to
Fix
point it and restore it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, believe me, if this was there would be no reason to remove this chimney if it wasn't causing a both economic and physical damage to the house. They don't want to remove it. There just simply isn't money left in their budget to continue to restore every element of this building, and they've been working so meticulously on this project for so long that and I don't know if you know this as it existed before, but the change is really quite dramatic.
No, it's starting to unfold nicely.
All right. Brandon?
Yeah, no objection. I think I think if it's while it's a nice architectural feature to the house, it's not serving any specific purpose. It's not an active chimney, and if it's I think given the amount of money being invested in everything else into this house to make it look and restore it to the way it was, I think this is it's understandable that that some things aren't able to remain given their existing condition. And so while I would like it to stay, I don't have any objection if it's in disrepair and cannot be restored effectively for it to go.
How about Paul?
I agree with Brandon completely. I think that these old multi-flue chimneys are so beautiful. Certainly, you want it to stay, and you want it to be to continue to be an architectural feature. But we need to give the owners and the architects the benefit of the doubt here, solely for the fact that they have executed such a beautiful renovation of this house that wasn't really attractive before, and it's turning out to be a beautiful restored home.
Okay, Paul.
That was me.
Sorry, Dale.
I concur with my colleagues. I think the same thing. It's no longer functional. It poses more of a problem. It is a shame that it can't be restored, but it doesn't make sense to keep it if it's creating a hardship and creating a roof leak.
Eric.
Yeah, I kind of echo everyone else's thoughts. It's a shame to lose it because it is beautiful, but I'm okay with losing it if it's such an economic issue.
All right, so I guess everybody's in agreement. I will share the same comments, same sentiments of everyone. We will miss the chimney, but I want to add that I really value and the effort that the applicants and the Office of Arthur put in restoring this house. It's a great improvement from what it was before, and it's a pleasure to drive by Broadway and see coming back to life. So we will miss the chimney, but I make a motion to approve the application as submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
50 seconds. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next application is 37 Esterwood Avenue.
Is there anyone here for 37 Esterwood?
I believe I saw Eric raising his hand. Eric, you there?
I'm promoting him to a panelist. Eric, can you hear us? Eric, can you hear us?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi.
All right. So, introduce yourself and please share the screen to explain what you are doing.
Give me one sec. Wait, share screen. No. I'm gonna do this. Wait. Here. Oh. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Eric Braun. I'm new to Dobbs Ferry. We purchased this property on 37 Esterwood as an investment property. It's a 5-unit multifamily. And we're doing primarily kitchen and bathroom renovations and some interior work just to improve the units. The house is probably a good 100 years old. And we would like to bring it back to, you know, obviously not its original, the original way it used to be, but do a pretty good renovation of it and get the rents up and bring new tenants in. So basically, the house, is what you can see right here, this is facing west, and this would be the side of the house that we'll be looking at. There's 2 windows that we're requesting to be removed because of some interior work that needs to be done, and the 2 windows are essentially in the way. And I'll show you. So basically, this side of the house right here is facing the parking lot at the Stop and Shop, and there's some forested area in between. So if I show you this side of the house, these are the 2 windows that we're talking about.
Mhm.
And I have a better picture as well. Here they are. And the reason we want to remove these 2 particular windows, I can show you in the plans. The first window, the one on the first floor. Here's the view from the window to the parking lot. There's a staircase. The staircase right now is right here. And that staircase goes up to the 2nd floor. And it comes to a platform, which is kind of wasted space. And what we want to do is we want to create a small bedroom to make this duplex a 2-bedroom, which it's a 1-bedroom right now, but it basically just has a platform up here.
I see.
So in order to do that, the staircase right now is right here, and all we're doing is moving it in this direction. And the stairs come up about 6 stairs up to this point, and they actually would hit the window on the other side.
Understood.
And then on the 2nd floor, basically what happens is you would have we would put a sheetrock wall right here and a closet, and that also would hit that window. So basically we have no choice but to close those windows. I had actually consulted with Dan, and I said, maybe can we close the windows from the inside? And he said that's not an option. So the only option we have would be to remove the windows. So that's the request.
And you will be cladding it with the siding to match existing, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely.
All right. So it's a clear presentation. Dipti?
Whoops. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. No, I have no problem with what's being done. Totally understandable with, you know, with the way the plans work out right now.
Okay. Brandon?
Yeah, agreed. I don't see any issue as long as the siding is made to
Okay.
match. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know what the siding material is, but there can be a variation in color based on age. So I think that'll be important. So as long as it's contingent on it matching and not looking like an infill, then
Right.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, we agree.
Dale?
I think the window removal seems fine. I don't see any issue with it. It would be nice if you could remove the 2 air conditioning units too,
That's true.
but I think it looks fine.
All right. Eric?
Yeah, this seems pretty straightforward and completely understandable. I have no issue with it.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve this application subject to the matching of, matching the same siding to the existing when the windows are removed. Do I have a second? Brandon seconds.
Second.
All in favor? I promise Dale that next one will be you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck, Eric.
Thank you. Have a
Uh,
great evening.
1 second. And the next item on the agenda is 2 Appleton Place.
Ira, can you hear us?
Okay. Okay. So I'm here with Craig Logan, and we're proposing a deck renovation, well, complete remodel of the deck at 2 Appleton. I guess share. Okay, well, okay, so this is the house in the current deck, which is in bad shape, and it's falling apart. And there's a series of brick steps down to the driveway off to the side. So what we're proposing is a new deck. This is the side of the house, same side of the house. I don't know if you can see the red line outline here is the existing deck. So we're proposing to, and this side faces Clinton Avenue. So we're proposing to increase the size of the deck and also change out the stairs so that it's not a series of awkwardly paced single steps, but an actual flight of stairs with a slope and then another flight of stairs. So it's just easier to use. The material is all a Trex decking, and with a matching or similar toned lattice work beneath it. So that's pretty much it. That's all that's being proposed.
The colors will match the. What
The
colors
what?
are you using? The colors of the railing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it out of the same material.
So it will
So they
be
have fascia
gray?
boards
what's,
that
what's a brown?
it's kind of a grayish brown. I mean, I couldn't get
Okay.
a good picture of it. I don't know if I can show you here. Well, that's no better. Yeah, no. But it's a grayish brown that works well with the color of the house.
Mhm. All right. So, any questions, anybody? Deepti?
No, I think the design looks pretty straightforward. I don't see an issue with it. I think it's fine as presented.
Brandon?
Yes, same. I don't see any issue. The exposed, it looks to be an in the elevation on that east elevation. Sorry, I'm having trouble. Is there, I know you're pouring are you pouring new steps up to this landing?
Yeah, the steps are all going to be made from the same decking material. So there's side stringers and which will be clad in the Trex fascia.
Okay,
And so that's open underneath the stairs. The lattice work is held back a little bit so that the deck cantilevers out over it.
I was more referring to the stone paver walkway that's proposed ahead of.
Yeah, that will be poured with the slate pavers on top.
Okay, I know that it looked like when it's poured, there might be some exposed concrete and elevation. I don't know if that's actually the case. It's a cut through, right? I think it's covered at grade, depending on where you made that cut. So I'm assuming that it'll be finished nicely and integrated into the surrounding landscaping, right?
Yeah, exactly. If there is a bit of the side exposed, we'll just clad that in the slate as well.
Okay, perfect. That's good. I'm good. I think it looks pretty straightforward. That was my only question, is just how to finish those edges with the surrounding landscape or other hardscape area.
Thank you. How about Paul?
I think it looks great. I think it looks really great. Just the second flight of stairs. Pardon my ignorance of the code, but that doesn't require any type of railing or anything, does it? The flight of stairs down to the driveway.
Which ones are we talking about? Right. If there's more than
down from the deck.
Small one? Yeah.
if there's more than 3 in a row, it needs a railing. So how many treads are there?
So
Those
they're
are actually pre-existing. We're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are there now.
Oh, okay.
I venture to guess that you'll still be required to have a railing.
Yes.
So we would do that on a single side.
Okay. So,
And we would do on railing. So I think.
but I understand this is a pre-existing condition that is not going to be disturbed, correct?
We weren't planning on changing those stairs, correct? But I think
Yeah, but we'll add a railing.
Okay. All right. So let's approve what we see, what we do amended and file with the building department. How about Dale?
No comments. I think it looks fine. You might just consider, because you're on the Clinton side, to increase the planting for some privacy.
We would definitely put some bushes around the base of it, because we are taking away some that are currently on either side of the house around the existing terrace. So yeah, I would want to do some. I mean, the lattice work will look nice, but I'd rather just block it out with some landscaping in addition to the lattice.
Okay. Eric?
Yeah, I think looks good. It looks like an improvement over what's there. I think the steps will help with that. It is a pretty awkward going up right now. So I think it looks great.
Okay, so I agree with the comments of the board, and clearly any railing has to be filed with the building department as an amendment. We are only approving what we have being presented. Encouraging landscaping always, and make a motion to approve it. Do I have a second? Dale seconds. Favor? Thank you all. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is 155 Beacon Hill Drive.
promoting the architect right now. Matthew, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear and see me?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I actually have my own, the owner's representative here too. Can she join as well, or?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yeah, her name is Mary Mogaldi. She is in the peanut gallery, I guess would be the best thing to say. There she is.
Miriam, can you hear us? Miriam, can you hear us?
I think she's
There we go.
muted. Oh,
Can you hear us? Okay, good. Sorry.
All right, Matthew, go ahead and start presenting.
Okay. Yeah, so we are 155 Beacon Hill Drive is our project, and what we're trying to do is rehabilitate some of the apartments in the building. Why we are at AHRB is because we are proposing to put roof terraces on top of the building. I'd like to share my screen right now to kind of show you exactly what we're trying to do. And yeah, it's our belief that these additions that we're putting on top of the building will not be visible from the street because of the grade and how the building is situated onto the property. Okay. So zoom in a little bit just to give you guys a reference of the property. 155 Beacon Hill Drive, right over here. It's off of Beacon Hill Drive, and it's kind of tucked back near Springhurst Park Drive. We have certain views from the street. As you can see, this is us way in the back here, coming up, approaching Beacon Hill Drive. This is us as you get, to the full front elevation of the property, and this is looking the other way from our property, down the street, looking down. So Beacon Hill Drive is over here, and again, another view from the Beacon Hill Drive streetscape, and again, another view with these big old cedar trees. So that's kind of a general review of what we're looking at here. What we want to do is we want to, let me zoom back out. We want to hang on. We want to put a small bulkhead to allow for a roof terrace access for the apartments below. We are setting back a clear glass railing system that will divide the different terraces. So the apartment here would have access to this terrace. This apartment here would have access to this terrace, and this would be this would all be part of this apartment here. And again, the whole concept of this was to try to make it look so that you couldn't see it from the street, or you couldn't see it from the property. In elevation, when everything flattens out, you would see the bulkhead here. But this really isn't how you experience the building. A better way of experiencing the building would be this photograph here, where you can see straight ahead, and you can't even, in this image here, you can't even see the existing bulkhead that's much taller than what we want to do. So everything is kind of set back into the perspective, so you really can't see it. We will clad this in a gray stucco, and it would match the stone of the granite that's on the building. But again, I feel fairly confident that you're not going to see this. Here's another view of it, and again, you can barely see the existing bulkhead that's located here. You can barely see it. Oops, apologize. in this photograph here. So that's kind of where we're at here. The railings too are only about 3 feet tall. So getting back to this photograph here, you still wouldn't even see those railings with the setback that we have. So we're really not impacting this building at all from its streetscape.
Mhm. All right. Do you happen to have a section of the building to see the relationship with the street?
I have a section of
the, you know, like
yeah, no, I have a section of the bulkhead and how we access the bulkhead. I
Right,
don't
right,
have a
right.
section of the street itself.
so the bulkhead is you say EIFS and a metal door.
Well, the bulkhead won't be EIFS. It would actually be a traditional stucco assembly, 3 coats, scratch brown and finish.
And all gray, and the door will be gray.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Any skylights? And no, that's it.
No, that's it. That's really it. And the articulated parapet that you see here, which is existing, our railing is going to be set behind that, which would be a glass railing. So it really would have 0 impact on the street.
Right. All right. So let's Dipti.
I agree with the architect. I think that the way it is designed, it's not going to be visible, certainly not from any street. From what I know, I've passed by this building before. And then the glass railing is set behind the crenellations, right? I think it's a nice space to create for the apartments, actually. If people can use that and, you know, put a little bistro table and sit down there, it would be nice. I don't have any problem with it.
Dale.
Sorry. I agree. I think it is a nice amenity to have. I think it will be fairly invisible from the street. I guess my only concern is the access, getting up those stairs to bring any objects up to the roof. But that is the concern of the occupants about what they can actually bring out there.
Brandon is next.
Yeah, I don't have any objection. I think it'll be minimally viewable. I like the fact that everything is kind of set back, especially the railings, so that it doesn't impact the look. So yeah, I don't see any issue.
Okay, and Paul.
No issue.
Eric.
Yeah, no issue for me.
All right, so look, clearly it's not visible. So it's my only comment is I'm trying to see how I appreciate that the gray color and the basic shape of the bulkhead is so simple that is not only not visible from the street, but probably won't be visible from the roof either. And if the gray kind of matches the gray stone that we see, it's gonna be disappeared. However, I'm looking for some kind of integration to the, I wouldn't say language, but the style of the house, and it's neither nor. An easy solution will be just to clad it with an ivy and make it disappear with green. But this will be a suggestion for the tenants to do like clad it with a trellis and just let the volume be really disappearing with some kind of natural elements. And also the second question I will make, and this is for you, to have some sort of natural light, not to make a solid door, a solid metal door, and maybe some sort of a window integrated into the door, just to bring some, not to make it like a totally complete sealed box. That's also up to you. That's why I asked you if there was a skylight or something that will bring some natural light into this box, and just to give it at least some articulation to the volume. But since I know it's up for discussion, and it's I hope constructive comments. It's up to you too. It seems that everybody on the board. Eric, did you make comments? Yes, right? Yeah. So everybody is in agreement that this is fine. So I just want to bring my point of view as a suggestion. That's all.
I appreciate your suggestions as well. I think adding some light could be a nice thing. Could be a nice approach. As we demonstrated, the doors, and if we introduce the skylight, would not be something that you would see from the street.
No, I'm just saying that to.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I just would like to put it out there as like, if should we choose to do that, we could represent, but I would think that because we have we may have approval tonight, we'd like to just move forward with it. We certainly could accommodate that and later down the road, as it doesn't affect the streetscape or the building, the building proper as it is.
Just the fact that you don't see it from the street is not that it's invisible. That's my only comment. But I'm not going to be an obstacle. I make a motion that we approve it, since the majority of the board is in agreement that this is a good thing for the building. Second. All seconds. All in favor? Thank you. Good luck, and thank you for the
I
presentation.
appreciate your time, folks. Have a great night.
Yeah, thank you. And the last application of tonight is 130 Palisade Street.
I see Patty, but I can't get to him because there's something in the way. Hold on. I think Zoom had an update or something. It's being a little funky tonight. Patty, can you hear us?
I think I can hear you, and I think you can see me.
Yes.
Cool. I'm only wearing a cap because I've had a whole series of things on my head, so I don't want to freak you out with surgery. If you want me to share screen, yep.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see what is going to work. Okay. Let's see, slideshow. I don't want to see the transcript. I want to see the slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so this is the project 130 Palisade Street that I'm sure you guys are familiar with.
Yes.
This was a house that we brought before you back in 2018. It was a house that needed some work, and the client has done a tremendous job. I'm really impressed with the effort that they've made. They got to a point where they kind of had gotten as far as they could. Obviously, anything that's life safety is, has to be completed. I think in those lines, there's one sprinkler head on the third floor and a couple of light fixtures that need to be dealt with. But I think everything else is in good shape. The building inspector, John, walked through today. I'm sure we'll get a report on that, and we'll have to do whatever we need to do. The reason we're here is they're not in a position to do a couple of things that were part of the original submission. They would like to do them at some point in the future, but they definitely need to get their C of O. And the only way they can get their C of O is if what they've built at this point is acceptable to the ARB. And what I'll do is I'll show you those different things. I'm also going to tell you I'm having trouble with this PowerPoint in the standpoint that somehow the drawings that we did at the end of the day, because the walkthrough was actually today, I can't get them to be clear. So I'm going to go back and forth between the PowerPoint and then show you the elevations in a PDF so they can be clear. But what I'll do, I don't think we need to, you guys know where the property is. That's the survey. This is how messy the drawings look for some reason. But the photographs are pretty good. So here we are looking south on Palisade Street. The first thing I'll point out is that the detail that we had on our drawings, you'll see the base of these columns. We had a capital that respected that. And I think, eventually it'll be really nice to get that on this, but that has not been done at this point. So that's one of the things I think that was cited, that we don't have the capital on the top. Everything's watertight. It doesn't look like it's half finished. I just think it'll be nice if we eventually get that on. And here in this photograph, we can see the main thing that's missing. Up here, we had a trellis that when I went back and checked the records, there were people on the AHRB who are not terribly enthused about the trellis. So yeah, hey Brandon. So maybe it's not as much of an issue. They have not put up the trellis. They do have a railing and everything so that everything's safe there when you come out the French doors onto the deck. But that trellis coming across has not been built, and the building inspector wants us to make sure that the AHRB is happy without that. This is just standing back a little ways. Another thing I'll point out is these panels on the original house, not the original, but the house when we started the work, these panels were stuccoed over. We showed on our drawing using the center bead pine inserts in this. When we took off the stucco, we saw the detail of how these were originally built. So we just duplicated that detail. We thought that, that was a nice look, and I think it's turned out, well for it. Let's see if I keep going around the house. I don't know if that shows you a better look up on that. Here also you can see this is on this column. This is where the capital should be, which is not there. It's even a better shot of it. Here's the zipper between the two. Everything else, well, actually, there's one other thing. I don't know if the building inspector cited it, but in the drawings, we showed the way these columns are here. We showed a column on the corner, so that was basically engaged. And that simply wasn't done. I think the way it came out looks fine. That might have been a little bit too fussy. This is standing back further in the yard, looking at the back of the building. And I'm actually going to go back on these because this is another issue. We didn't show any retaining walls in this backyard. We actually weren't planning to do any work in the backyard. What has happened is they've built two 2-foot high retaining walls, one up for a landing down below, and then a second. But that was something that John specifically wanted me to broach to you. My understanding is that retaining walls that are under 4 foot are not required to have permits. So I'm not sure how much of an issue there is with this. It's obviously very limited in visibility to anyone. And I think it's a nice way for them to use their backyard. Yeah, here's
Patty, how tall is it?
There are two of them. This one down here is basically maybe 2'4". And then the one up here is 2 foot. And they're more than 5 feet apart, so they're not added together. That's a provision in the code. If you put 2 walls within 5 feet, you got to total them together. This is further than 5 feet. The pavers down here are all, one of the discussions, I wasn't actually there today, but one of the discussions was that we've shown this labeled as pervious pavers. And technically this is pervious pavers. But we did do a drainage system for all of this that was all reviewed by George Palmer. inspected by George Palmer. This was actually an interesting concern. We originally were going to put some Cultex in the driveway. The neighbor to the south was very concerned about their rock foundation. Fairly unmortared rock foundation. If we put Cultex next to them, we'd be pouring water in their basement. At the same time, the catch basin out in front of the house was damaged. So what was agreed is that we would pull the water from here, collect it, replace the existing paved concrete trough between the two buildings, handle the drainage for both buildings, and then rebuild that catch basin so that that was all working well. George came out to the site. He checked it all out. We walked it. So all of that was done. Let me see if I want to show you what the difference of things are. So what I'm going to try and do is make this bigger so we can kind of see it. This is the drawing of the elevations as built.
Patty?
Yeah.
It's stuck on the picture of the house. I think you have to unshare screen and then share again on the other one.
Okay, that's weird. I would think that whenever I'm showing anything.
Sometimes when you switch between applications, you have to stop and then share again.
Okay. Are you seeing it now?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're really good at this, Jen. I'm not.
Been doing it a while.
So this is the as-built drawings of the building, and right here is the approved drawings of the building. Again, these capitals on these columns, the fact that we had a vertical center bead pattern under the windows, the this trellis up above. So those three things are different. And then on the back, we actually had a retaining wall coming across with two columns sitting on it, and then an engaged column at the corner. So there's no column here at the corner. These are just two columns going down, and that retaining wall is not there. And those retaining walls that I showed you got built. So I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say.
Patty, can you go back to the front porch railing?
You mean in the photograph?
Yep, please.
I hopefully can. We'll see if it works. Okay, so you're not seeing this now, right? So
No, we are.
Oh, you were? Oh no.
We were.
Okay, so let's see if this goes back and if I'm there again. So you can see this?
Yes.
Okay,
You can see the photograph. So if you can go back to the front photograph, Patty.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so
What's with the two different kinds of railings? And then number two, I'll only approve it if you're going to paint that railing white.
that's fine with me. I think Simone might be on the call. This is actually nicely done. It's not raw wood. It's it's a nice looking wood. And the railings are the same. The difference, the top rail is the same on all of it. What's different is that obviously this was done with metal. I'm not quite sure exactly how that happened, but that is what it is right now.
And is that railing on the drawing? I didn't see it on the drawing.
No, we had all the railing matching.
I just added Simone.
Yep, good.
Oh, hi. Hi, it's Simone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. The reason for the two different ones was that the stairs and the way it was done with the wood was less achievable than the metal railing itself. We did it a little while ago, so I don't remember the back and forth, but it was basically landed on that this was the more secure thing to do. And the railing, I actually paid more for to make it this mahogany, and it's finished with like a boat stain. So I'd prefer not to paint it white because I think it added, a nice element of just three-dimensionality to it versus having just a white. And I thought even that this might have been in the drawing as mahogany, but I don't remember a
It was.
1,000%. Yes. So I thought we did what was agreed to, and so live, I think it turned out really nice. I'm happy with it, so I prefer not to paint over it, if that counts here.
That was the approved railing on the original AHRB. The only difference is it was the same railing all the way down the stairs.
All right. Right. Any other items that you want to discuss, Patty or Simone?
I think we covered all of the things that were different between what was approved and what's been built.
Can you show me the photograph in the back again? So I understand that these two columns were like they had a knee wall and they had also a capital and a base.
Right. The original design had a retaining wall here.
Right.
And these other retaining walls were not here. The backyard basically came up right against that.
Right.
And so what the client decided to do was they basically did this themselves. They were able to excavate out and make a nicer yard back right off. I think it actually looks a lot better than it would have looked otherwise. I think the capital and the base on these two columns is kind of the same situation as on the front. It just got to a point where they had done as much as they could, and they hadn't gotten to that yet. I've had a number of conversations with Simone about it, and she has promised me that someday I'll be able to get a photo that shows those complete, but she can't get the C of O unless we're okay as we are.
Yeah, and to add to that, one of the main reasons why we ultimately pushed the retaining wall back is that it almost created a pool right in front of the doors when we kept the retaining walls. So we had agreed to push it back, and with the columns, the material wasn't ready when the contractor was there, and then he wouldn't really come back just to install them. So yes, I want to install them. I think it would look much better with the base, but to Patty's point, it's not essential for living, and I'd love to get the certificate of occupancy. So then, I can also continue to work on the house while I live there.
Okay, so let's open up the discussion. Deepti?
It's too bad. I guess you had to remove the tree, right? Wasn't there a big tree in the backyard?
Yeah, we have big trees. The big trees are still here. There was one tree over here which was shown to be removed because it was in really bad shape. So that tree was always history. I
think, Patty, what Dipti might be talking about is the dogwood tree, and that was the one that basically is where, remember, we had to add the zipper, so we pushed the extension back into the yard, which ultimately resulted in us having to, very unfortunately, take out the dogwood. That was one of the reasons. Dipti, if you remember, originally we did not want to build this far back because of the trees, but with the scale of the house, we had to remove them. They were too close to the foundation.
I remember a little bit. I just remember that there was a nice big tree in the backyard, but anyways, no, I'm fine with it. Yeah, I don't have any problems with, with not having the trellis on the second floor and the changes you made.
Okay, so Dale.
I agree. I think most of the changes are just minimal. It would be great if you eventually did get those capitals and column bases in, because they add a little bit of depth and detail. Be nice to see them in the future. You might also consider the color of the railing in the front may want to be something not black, just because it really stands out. It's very peculiar. But I think the house has come along a really long way since it started, and I wish you well with it.
Okay, Brandon?
Yeah, I share the same sentiments as the other board members. I think it was executed well, and I'm not sad to see the trellis go from the front of the house. So I think it would have added some complexity that wasn't needed to what I think looks, pretty simplistic from the streetscape, right? In the addition of the zipper, I think was needed to push it back so that you could have what looks like some depth to separate, which I think is a good thing. It's unfortunate that we had to lose a tree because of it, obviously, but I think ultimately, I think this was executed well, and I'm fine with the other changes that were here. I agree with the sentiment on the railing at the front from a color perspective, but I'm okay with the way it is now. So.
Well,
Yeah, just to chime in with everybody else, I think that first of all, congratulations on a good renovation and addition. I think it looks much better than what was there before. So good job. Most of the changes are minimal and are totally okay. I think you actually made a good choice with the retaining walls in the back. I think that's a better choice. I think the railing doesn't look good, but that's not something that I'm going to harp on. So.
Eric?
Yeah, I kind of agree with everyone. Hopefully you can get to some of the other column things and the everything. But yeah, I think it does look great. And I think I'm also not sad to see the trellis go on the front. But yeah, other than that, I think it looks really great. Good job.
all right, so I'll wrap up all the comments. I guess everybody's in agreement that we appreciate the efforts and the put in the renovation of this house and bringing life back to Palisades, and it's good. Appreciate the quality of the materials brought to the front, etc., etc. I, for once, I will miss the trellis, but the reason of the trellis has probably the same reason of the capitals in the front or in the back. It's the purpose was to articulate and scale to the elevation to be less imposing, even though in the pictures looks good. I think vines, trellis, all those artifacts that you bring into these elevations bring some level of articulation and to the human scale. So I will agree with Dale on the need of bringing back the capitals, at least in the back, because with the loss of that retaining wall, which is perfectly fine, I understand why, and I think the benefit of having a larger deck it's good, but the effect of the scale is lost. Now we have all this, and you see it in the picture. You see this rear elevation that is supported by two very thin columns with some articulation. I think which could be as minimal as just bringing back the capitals.
Yep.
Will suffice. But that said, what I said before is I appreciate the effort, and for that, I guess a reward of approving this application. It's in order. Unless everybody or anybody has another comment, I think we'll take to approve it as built. However, if what other changes you expect to work on the future? If we approve it as built, that means that this is it. Any other addition will require approval, correct?
Right. The one thing I would ask for a little latitude on is I totally agree that we need the capitals in the base, particularly in the back, and the capitals in the front. I would hope that if they wanted to put that decorative element on their home, We would not then have to come back to the Architectural Review Board to get permission to do what was originally approved.
All right.
We'd come back if they ever decided to do the trellis.
The trellis is, I guess, we'll keep Brandon happy. But at some point, it's up to you on how you want to move forward with the additions or changes to this approval with the building department. So,
yeah,
I don't know, John, should I make any contingencies to the approval or recommendations?
No need. The capitals and the bases of the columns are minimal changes that we wouldn't require a permit for or approval for.
All right, so
the trellis would be the only thing.
Okay, so we approve the as-builts. I make a motion to approve the as-builts. Just for the record, if the capitals are brought back, will not be required to come in front of.
Perfect.
That's basically it, right? So seconds. Anybody? That's it. They'll second.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, all in favor? Thank you. Thank you all. And I make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Seconds, Brandon seconds. All in favor? Thank you.